This trade report makes zero sense for the Cleveland Cavaliers, as once again, teams are trying to make false narratives and swoop in and steal away all-star caliber talent from the Cavs, and now it's the Golden State Warriors trying to send over role players to finesse these packages, and frankly, this deal makes no sense for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So we're going to break down what the reports are saying, what rumors are starting to pick up for this Cavs team entering the season, and why it makes no sense for the Cleveland Cavaliers to pursue down this direction for Koby Altman to even entertain these discussions that the Warriors are trying to pose and try to steal away these guys. But before we dive into any of that, folks, again, if you are a part of the 88% of our viewers that haven't hit the subscribe button just yet, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing that's going on with this Cleveland Cavaliers team with the season just around the corner. And obviously, it's the time of year, basketball is back, and like is tradition with this era of Cleveland Cavaliers basketball, there are a lot of teams trying to pluck away, the Donovan Mitchells of the world, the Darius Garlands of the world, and now Jarrett Allen. As the Golden State Warriors, their fans, their reporters, their beat guys are coming out and trying to, speak this trade into existence. And frankly, it makes no sense for the Cavaliers. So let's just dive straight into it. As essentially, the Warriors have a surplus of wings with Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga, and has put Moses Moody into a difficult position for his development. Moody has immense potential as an elite role player and has innate athleticism and a mature attitude and steady production that can make Moody the perfect fit and perfect addition around the Cleveland Cavaliers roster. So this is coming from NBA analyst Caleb Crowley. So out there setting the table, setting the narrative for the Cavs to make a big trade end up going down. And essentially this article ended up proposing this sort of deal for the Cavs, essentially sending away Jarrett Allen to the Golden State Warriors, and in return the Cleveland Cavaliers received Moses Moody, Kevon Looney, a little rhyme there, Kyle Anderson, and then a 2026 and 2028 first round pick. Now, again, we've seen so many mock trades. We've seen so many things that are just in the realm of absurdity in terms of what the Cavs have been offered, have been dealt. And this one at least has some draft capital coming back to the Cleveland Cavaliers to maybe make it sweet. But still, this deal makes no sense for the team, as frankly, the Cleveland Cavaliers are not in a position to really rebuild right now. Again, in a vacuum, a couple first-round picks are definitely valuable assets out there in the NBA, and Moses Moody does have a ton of high upside. Would be, again, a cool piece to add to this Cleveland Cavaliers roster. However, in terms of construction, in terms of timeline, in terms of just overall making sense, it doesn't look like a good fit for this Cavs team. And we'll break it down, because obviously, Jarrett Allen is a guy, 6'11", he's only 26 years old, averaged 17 points per game, 11 rebounds, averaged 1.1 blocks, and is just a guy that is one of the top tier upper echelon centers in the entire NBA. He's a VORB of 3.1, and just having that as a rim protector on this Cavs team that, again, you look at Evan Mobley, you look at Jarrett Allen out there in your front court, and you might say, hey, Ben, the Cavs are loaded out there in the front court. This could push Evan Mobley to center. It can make things all look great and sweet for the squad. But frankly, if you look at the Cavaliers depth chart, the center position is the one area that I've been outspoken on the channel saying, hey, that's a position that needs to be bolstered. That's a position that needs to be beefed up for this Cavs team, because looking at the center depth, especially because you're going to be starting both Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley. Mobley has been effective out there at that number 4 position, but behind Mobley and Allen in terms of who's going to be able to play center. I mean, are the Cavs really going to be relying upon a Tristan Thompson out there to be effective out there on the basketball court for this team moving into the season? I mean, that's not something that I'd be super interested into getting major rotation minutes given his age and current status out there in the league. So that's one factor. And then Dean Wade, again, can knock down threes at a great rate. That's a huge thing there for, the squad moving forward. But Dean Wade is your lead backup center behind Evan Mobley. This front court ends up really not being that beefed up, not being that, solid in terms of what we can expect for a Cleveland Cavaliers team going into the season. So again, that's not something that I'm too interested in really giving up, an area of position for the Cleveland Cavaliers team that's trying to be depleted. And yes, Moses Moody would be a cool pickup for the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? 8 points per game, 3 rebounds. And really shown, during Summer League and preseason and stuff, that he has taken some steps forward. But by no means is this guy a surefire, all-star level talent. A guy that should be the centerpiece of a trade if you're going to be dealing away Jarrett Allen. That just makes no sense for a Cleveland Cavaliers team. Yes, Moses Moody's 22. He could develop into something great. Sure, all that, whatever. But this Cavs team wants to win now. They want to win with their roster construction. They just locked in Jarrett Allen long-term. They just locked in Donovan Mitchell long-term. And Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley, that top four is a team that you have to go in running with. And I know, this offer, I know this deal kind of proposed something like, hey, we can get back, Kevon Looney, but yes, he's had a good career, but that man's knees are cooked. That man's knees are not something you rely upon, out there at the backup position. And slow-mo will be great. Again, the multiple picks would be cool, but we're looking at the Cavs roster, right? And if you look at the depth chart for this team, it's not something that is in desperate need of wing depth. I mean, you can look at it and make it a little bit bigger here, right? You have Caris LeVert coming off the bench for this team. Sam Merrill is a guy I know a lot of Cavs fans are interested in getting more minutes this upcoming season. You have Isaac Okoro that was just brought back on a significant contract. You have Jalen Tyson, who is a guy that has shown a lot out there in Summer League. He's shown a bit out there in these preseason games. I mean, this Cavs team is not one that has to really be desperate going into this year at the wing position to lock into Moses Moody, lock into Kyle Anderson. Frankly, that deal would just cause more of a glut out there on the wing spot, which is going to lower the value, lower the impact of all of the guys on this roster. So, even though he would be a cool asset in the trade in a vacuum, isn't as egregiously bad as some of the ones that we've seen over the course of the summer, over the past year for the Cleveland Cavaliers. It is not something that makes any sense at all whatsoever for this Cavs team to really pursue. And to put a bow on everything, essentially, this guy came out and said that the Cavs head coach, Kenny Atkinson, knows the talent that Moody has. He saw it firsthand during his tenure with the Golden State Warriors, making him an ideal target for the Cavaliers to quickly integrate into the rotation. If Kenny Atkinson can give Moody a runway, a young wing could lead more forward this season and be a major contributor for the Cavs and chase a deep playoff run this year. And yes, again, as I made the point of, Moses Moody would be cool. Cool addition for the Cleveland Cavaliers. But you have Caris LeVert. You have Jalen Tyson, who is a guy like a young prospect that I think Cavs fans would be more intrigued to see. A homegrown trying to draft a talent that you don't have to give up a Jarrett Allen for, to see what he can do with runway from, Kenny Atkinson out there on the wing. Sure that there are relationships there. Sure, it helped the Cavs rebuild. Again, if the Cavs start off the season like 5-30 or something, they need to sort of retool a little bit, get a little bit younger. Maybe this is something you can take more of a look at. But frankly, I don't think this makes any sense whatsoever for this Cavs team, but I want to know what you guys think, because I know sometimes I undervalue first-round picks, and some people love them. Maybe this is a great deal for the Cavs, but I'm just not buying it. But I want to hear what you guys think in the comment section down below. Again, if you guys are a part of the 88% that haven't hit the subscribe button just yet, make sure you guys hit that sub button so you don't miss a single thing that's going on with this Cleveland Cavaliers team. Anyways, you guys are the best. I'm signing out. Cheers.